Have you ever stood at an ending, the last page of a chapter you loved, the final goodbye at an airport gate, watching someone walk away? The quiet emptiness of a room after they're gone? That hollow ache, that feeling that something vital has been torn from your world. We spend our lives learning how to connect, how to love, how to build, but no one ever teaches us how to let go, how to say goodbye without falling apart, how to face an ending without feeling like the world itself is ending. What if I told you that one of history's greatest minds left us a manual for this very pain? A Roman philosopher, living in a time of chaos and empire, wrote letters that hold the secrets to facing farewells not with fragility, but with fortitude. His name was Seneca, and his Stoic philosophy offers us a compass for our deepest losses. This isn't about becoming cold or unfeeling. This is about finding a strength so profound it allows you to feel everything without being destroyed by it. Today, we delve into Seneca's letters from a Stoic to uncover 7 powerful Stoic lessons on endings. This is your guide to navigating goodbyes with courage, clarity, and a peace you might think is impossible. This is the art of the Stoic goodbye. Before we begin, we must understand one core pillar of Stoic teaching: the dichotomy of control. Simply put, some things are up to us, and some things are not. Our opinions, our judgments, our actions, these are within our control. Everything else, the actions of others, the passage of time, loss, illness, death, these are not. Every heartbreaking goodbye, every painful ending falls squarely into that second category. It is an external event. Our suffering, however, comes from our internal judgment of that event. Seneca's wisdom teaches us to shift our focus from trying to control the uncontrollable to mastering our internal world, to building an internal fortress. From that stronghold, we can face any farewell. Let's begin the journey through Seneca's Stoic wisdom with our first lesson. The 7 powerful lessons. Lesson 1. Premeditatio Malorum, the premeditation of endings. We start with a proactive practice, a mental rehearsal. The Stoics called it Premeditatio Malorum, the premeditation of evils, not to dwell on misery, but to disarm fear. Seneca wrote to his friend Lucilius, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Let that sink in. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. The dread of the goodbye is often 1,000 times worse than the goodbye itself. Our mind spins stories of unbearable pain, of eternal emptiness. We say goodbye 100 times in our heads before we ever have to do it once in life. Seneca advises us to confront this head-on, to sit down in a moment of calm and consciously think, my dear friend will move away. This job will end. This chapter will close. My loved ones are mortal. This is not pessimism. It is the ultimate realism. By mentally rehearsing the loss, we do 2 vital things. First, we prove to ourselves that we can indeed contemplate it and survive the thought. We build emotional callus. Second, we rob the actual event of its element of shocking surprise. When the change comes, a part of us can say, this. I have visited this place in my mind. I know this terrain. Try this simple Stoic practice. Once a week during a quiet moment, perhaps on a Sunday evening. Spend 5 minutes in this reflective practice. Choose one person, one possession, one situation you deeply value. Visualize it gone. Don't wallow in despair. Instead, observe your feelings. Then consciously list what would remain. Your character, your ability to reason, your breath, your capacity to find good elsewhere. You are practicing the art of emotional resilience. You are preparing your Stoic mindset for life's inevitable farewell lessons. When the real ending arrives, You will meet it not as a helpless victim, but as someone who has already walked the path in the maps of their mind.
Lesson 2. Amor Fati. Loving your fate, even endings. If the first lesson was about preparation, this one is about acceptance. A radical, profound acceptance. Amor Fati, a love of one's fate. This goes beyond just shrugging and saying, well, it happened. This is about embracing every thread in the tapestry of your life, especially the dark ones, as necessary and good. Seneca, who faced exile, chronic illness, and a turbulent political life, wrote, "A good man is not damaged by the harms which happen to him. He accepts them and turns them to good." He accepts them and turns them to good. See the ending not as a personal attack by a cruel universe, but as a part of the universal process. The tide must recede, the leaf must fall, the season must change. It is not malice, it is nature. The Stoic philosophy asks, who are you to demand that the laws of nature be suspended for your comfort? The person who leaves, the door that closes, this too is part of the story of your life. To rage against it is to rage against reality itself, a battle you will always lose. The Stoic teaching here is to shift your narrative. Instead of, this terrible thing is happening to me, try, this is happening. How do I work with it? The goodbye is not a ruinous event. It is the raw material for your next act of courage, for building deeper self-improvement. So, how do we apply this? Reframing. Think of a past goodbye that still haunts you, a breakup, a lost friendship, a death. Now, write down one sentence that begins with, this ending, as painful as it was, made space for, or this goodbye taught me. Perhaps it made space for independence. It taught you the true depth of your strength. It cleared the path for a new relationship that fits who you've become. This is not finding a silver lining. This is the alchemical work of Amor Fati, taking the base metal of loss and consciously, deliberately, choosing to see it as an integral part of the golden sculpture of your life. You are learning the Stoic approach to endings. Lesson 3. Focus on the internal fortress. Now we come to the heart of why goodbyes shatter us. We have built our happiness on unstable ground. We have placed our sense of security, our joy, our identity in things that can be taken away, a person, a job, a home. Seneca warns us about this external dependence with piercing clarity. You have built your happiness on a foreign soil. You must root it within yourself. Seneca, Letters from a Stoic. You have built your happiness on a foreign soil. When your happiness is rooted in another person, their departure feels like a famine. When your identity is your career, its end feels like death. The devastation of a goodbye is proportional to how much of yourself you had invested outside your own citadel. The Stoic teaching here is about sovereignty. Your internal fortress is built of virtues you alone control. Your wisdom, your courage, your justice, your temperance. No one can take these from you. No goodbye can breach these walls. This is the core of Stoic resilience. The person who has cultivated an inner life rich with purpose, principle, and self-knowledge is never truly left destitute. They may lose a tenant of their heart, but the castle itself stands firm. The application for modern life is a daily construction project. Building inner resilience means consciously shifting your source of validation from external to internal. Start small. Today, do something virtuous for its own sake and tell no one. Hold your tongue in an argument to practice temperance. Complete a difficult task to practice discipline. Sit with your own thoughts for 10 minutes without distraction. Each of these acts is a brick in your fortress. Ask yourself, where am I renting out my happiness to people or things I cannot control? Begin the work of evicting them, of bringing your happiness home. This is the foundation of true emotional resilience and the key to dealing with goodbyes without total collapse. Lesson 4. on the shortness of time and proper valuation. This lesson changes everything before the goodbye. It's about the preciousness of the now. Seneca, in his most famous work, writes, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Life is long enough, and it has been given in ample measure for the accomplishment of the greatest things, if the whole of it were well invested." Seneca, on the shortness of life. We waste a lot of it. We operate under the grand illusion of forever. We put off the meaningful conversation. We withhold the full expression of love, assuming there will be a tomorrow more suited for it. We take presents for granted. Then, when the ending comes, sudden or foreseen, we are flooded with the agony of wasted time, of words unsaid, of love unexpressed. The Stoic perspective here is a fierce, loving urgency. Understanding life's brevity, really understanding it, transforms how we value our relationships in the present moment. It makes every ordinary interaction potentially sacred. The goodbye is inevitable, but the quality of what is being goodbyed to is entirely up to us. Your practical application is a prompt for action. Here it is. Expressing appreciation now. Think of one person in your life you value. Do not wait. Today, send them a message. Be specific. Don't just say, "I appreciate you." Say, "I was thinking today about that time you supported me through X, and I wanted you to know how much your kindness still means to me. I'm grateful you're in my life." This is Stoic wisdom in action. It is investing your time well. It is the practice of proper valuation. When the eventual parting comes, you will carry far less regret. You will have loved fully in the time you had. This is how Seneca's letters teach us to live, and therefore how to say goodbye. Lesson 5. Grief with reason, not without limit. Let's be clear, Stoicism is not about suppressing emotion. This is a critical misunderstanding. Seneca did not say, "Do not grieve." He grieved deeply for his own friends. He said we must grieve as humans, not as beasts. There is a difference between feeling a wave of sorrow and letting it drown you indefinitely. He wrote, "Let your tears flow, but let them also cease. Let the deepest sighs be wrung from your breast, but let them also find an end. Let your tears flow, but let them also cease." This is grief with reason. It is permission to feel the full, crushing weight of the loss, to be human. But it is also a call to eventual return. The Stoic is not a statue. They feel the cut deeply, but they also trust in their own healing wisdom. They know that to remain forever in the ashes is to dishonor the very thing they lost, which was a part of life, not death. The pain of the goodbye is real. The Stoic lessons teach us to grant it a seat at the table, but not to let it take over the whole house. It is a visitor of sorrow, not a permanent tenant. So how do we apply this? Allowing oneself to feel, but with conscious boundaries. Set a grief appointment. For 5 minutes, twice a day, let it in, fully. Put on the song, hold the photograph, write the unsent letter. Sob, rage, feel the void. Then, when the timer goes off, consciously take a deep breath, wash your face, and re-engage with the world. Make a cup of tea. Do a simple chore. This practice does not disrespect the pain, it contains it. It prevents the grief from becoming the entirety of your identity. It is the practice of measured sorrow, a vital skill in navigating loss and finding a path back to emotional equilibrium.
Lesson 6. Every ending contains a beginning. Nature abhors a vacuum, and so does life. The Stoic philosophy is deeply rooted in observing nature's cycles. For a forest to renew itself, old trees must fall. For a new chapter to be written, the old one must end. Seneca, ever the observer of nature's laws, reminds us, "There is no ending that is not a beginning. The universe knows how to fill its own empty spaces." Seneca, Natural Questions. The universe knows how to fill its own empty spaces. The room left empty by a departure is not just a void, it is potential. It is space, terrifying, yes, but also free. Space for new growth, for new people, for new versions of yourself that could not have existed in the previous configuration. The goodbye, in the grand Stoic perspective on cycles, is not a full stop. It is a semicolon. The story is not over, it is pivoting. This is about trust. Trust in the process of life itself. The pain is real, but it is the pain of transformation, like a muscle being broken down to be rebuilt stronger. The ending creates the necessary conditions for the beginning. Your application is an act of creative vision, identifying one potential beginning. Take out a journal. At the top of the page, write, "Since X ended." Now list 3 possibilities that this new empty space has created. Maybe, since that relationship ended, I have the freedom to rediscover my own hobbies. Since that job ended, I can finally explore a career path I'm passionate about. Since that friend moved away, I am motivated to deepen other connections or make new ones. You are not denying the loss. You are simply refusing to be blinded by it, to the new doors that have swung open in the hallway where one has closed. This is the practice of seeing transformation and renewal in the heart of loss. Lesson 7. The ultimate farewell. Memento Mori. We arrive at the final and perhaps most powerful Stoic lesson, Memento Mori. Remember, you must die. This is not morbid. It is the ultimate clarifier. Seneca writes constantly about death, not to frighten, but to focus. He says, "Let us prepare our minds as if we'd come to the very end of life. Let us postpone nothing. Let us balance life's books each day." The one who puts the finishing touches on their life each day is never short of time. Seneca, Moral Letters. Let us postpone nothing. The final goodbye, our own death, casts a long, illuminating shadow backward over every other farewell. When you remember that your time with everyone and everything is finite, not in a depressing way, but in a true way, it changes the quality of every interaction. It gives urgency to love. It gives meaning to presence. And, paradoxically, it gives courage to let go. Why? Because if you know the ship will dock, you cherish the voyage more passionately. You are also less likely to cling desperately to one port, screaming as you are pulled away. You understand it is all part of the journey. Memento Mori makes every smaller goodbye a rehearsal for the ultimate release, teaching us to hold everything lightly, lovingly, but without a grip of possession. How to use this today? Using Memento Mori as a tool. Every morning, as you sip your coffee, take 30 seconds. Seriously. Say to yourself, "I will die. The people I love will die. This day is a gift, not a given." Feel the gravity of it. Then let it fill you with focus. What trivial worry can you drop? What important kindness can you not postpone? Whose voice do you need to hear today? This practice infuses your life with intention. It makes you a better friend, a more present partner, a more courageous soul when the partings come. You are practicing the art of living, and therefore the art of saying goodbye like a Stoic, with your eyes wide open to the most fundamental truth of existence. So, let's weave these 7 powerful Stoic lessons into a single cohesive toolkit for the soul. We begin by preparing our minds, Premeditatio, so fear loses its power. We learn to love our fate, Amor Fati, embracing every part of our story. We fortify ourselves from within, rooting our happiness where it cannot be snatched away. We value time fiercely, expressing love now to minimize future regret. We grant ourselves permission to grieve, but with the wisdom to not drown in it. We look for the new beginning hidden within every ending. And we let the awareness of our own final ending, Memento Mori, sharpen our appreciation and courage for all the rest. This is the Stoic goodbye. It is not a cold, emotionless handshake. It is the opposite. It is a goodbye born of courage, the courage to feel deeply. It is a goodbye born of clarity, the clarity to see what is yours to control and what is not. And above all, it is a goodbye born of deep appreciation for the time you had, for the growth it spurred, for the unshakable self that remains. The goal is not to avoid pain. The goal is to part with grace, to heal with wisdom, and ultimately to live with greater freedom, to love without chains of dependency, to appreciate without the poison of clinging. This is the freedom that Seneca's Letters from a Stoic offers us across 2,000 years. The freedom to say, goodbye, thank you, I am still here and I am still whole. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 7 Stoic lessons resonates most with you right now? Is it building your internal fortress or practicing Memento Mori? Tell me in the comments below. This is where our community of practical philosophers grows. If you found this guide to Stoicism helpful and you want more practical philosophy to navigate life's challenges, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Every week we break down ancient wisdom from modern living.